Stingray has with the Orion pick. I think he also has that benefit when he has the Lance in hand. If he's able to find those down signatures, that could lead to those early KOs depending on where Raydish is. I know we say this a lot, but Stingray has done such a good job of showing us the power of not only this single down signature, but also a signature that hits on both sides. Dash down signature gives you so much room. He had a nice dodge there to get through the side air from Raydish in the edge guard.
Got a little bit of a pogo. He's getting some damage built up onto Raydish. Recovery. Raydish gets disarmed by it, but now he's onto his comfort orb. We saw how well the orb worked in his earlier match against Java. Side light, side air. Gives him the stage control. Raydish keeping Stingray on the corner.
Now, one of the main weapons for Java last game was, of course, that spear. And that's kind of been the case for Stingray as well. That's been the shining star between the two weapons. He has had moments of brilliance with the Lance especially, which is interesting because when we first started knowing about Stingray, it was a lot of Lance play. It was, of course, this same Orion, but a lot of it was the Lance play. Now that's shifted a little bit, but he can also bring it out when he needs to, when his spear play may not be up to snuff for that specific matchup option that he's going against.
Yeah, he's been looking really good with both weapons, kind of balances it out. Like, he'll have these moments where his spear's looking solid, and then these moments where his lance is looking really solid. Right now, Raydish is the one looking solid as Stingray backs up, starts to throw out the signatures. His main KO tool is hitting those sigs or those side airs, and he's going to hit the side air.
Going back over to the spear as Raydish is going to spawn back into this game. The weapon spawn goes onto the soft platform. Raydish grabs it. That comfort orb. He has Stingray in the orange, so Raydish with a decent lead here. We'll see if he's able to turn it into a stock before he takes too much damage. That's something that Stingray has been able to do so well against a bunch of different players today. Is oftentimes he'll start off with the lead. Sometimes the lead will be lost, but he always does such a good job of evening things up when he needs to. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, sometimes it's quick, but this is going to be a mountain to climb as Raydish may not even be in the orange yet. We'll see next time he gets hit. That turned him orange. It was like the latter stages of that side air, the multiple hit move that turned him orange.
That was such a good end sig. That soft platform looked safe to Stingray. He thought he could land on it. And then Raydish comes in, hits the end sig right on the edge of it, and gets himself a sizable lead. Doesn't get caught by the end sig, gets caught by the side air, and suddenly everything's even again.
That end sig was actually really close to hitting as well. It was only because Raydish did a downlight that like moved him up and then to the left because he happened to do a guess where he did the neutral signature to the right. If you would have done it to the left, that would have been a KO off that neutral signature, punishing Raydish's stack D-Light.
Sometimes you got to win those guesses. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. But Stingray, he's evened up the match so far. He's got the lands in hand, doesn't hit the down air, and Raydish gets a nice little punish with the two-piece side light recovery.
There is a weapon spawn on the field. Is going to get the bonk? No.
Not done. Downlight ground pound. Raydish takes game number 1.
There was a weapon spawn on the field that either player could have gone for. I thought Raydish would have made the move to it to pick up the orb. I thought Stingray would have made the move to it to pick up the spear. But no, they were both on their sort of quote-unquote off weapons between the two. That got the dodge. In came the recovery charge up. Of course, Raydish knew how to punish that. He had so much time. That recovery started off screen, so there was so much room, so much time for Raydish to figure out exactly how he wanted to punish it, where he needed to place that final KO move.
And that game was so dominant from Raydish.
Bro.
Didn't finish it, though. Didn't get the neutral light. Would have led to more damage. But either way, it did force Stingray to make the swap over to the Koji crossover.
We'll see what this bow play has coming in from Stingray. We haven't seen too many bow legends locked in from Stingray whatsoever.
Yeah, honestly, I can't think of one. He's mostly known for the Lance play, so it's generally Thing plus Lance. Right now, it's Gauntlets plus Face as Raydish gets the end sig again onto the soft platform on Stingray, and that gives Raydish a lead.
Now, Ember is going to be his third highest level legend coming in at level 59, so he does have some bow experience. But the Koji is all the way down here at level 45, not even in the top 10 of his legends most leveled on this Brawlhalla account.
Raydish's orb is something
It's good.
else. Makes a swap. Doesn't hit the end sig. He's been very effective with those end sigs on this map.
Hugging that ground before he makes the attempt. Make sure he doesn't get punished by tossing that weapon straight down, bonking Stingray on the head, making sure he can't jump in the air, throw out a neutral air for the juggle opportunity like he's doing now.
Yeah, he's been using those down tosses to try to secure his landing. Recovery, not enough. Raydish making his way back down onto the stage. Doesn't punish the whiff down light. Doesn't get a hit. Another neutral air. Stingray struggling to finish this stock off. Raydish side light, side air.
Pick that one up with a GC. No little cheeky D-Light over the corner. He knew there was a weapon spawn on the field. He even goes for the bold N-Sig, but ends up getting punished by the unarmed recovery from Stingray, who now has a bow, but he's not at weapon advantage for any time whatsoever. Radish comes back in, back on the orb. The weapon spawn on the right side, blessing him with that pickup right on spawn in. Could be looking for just a side air on its own. Could be looking for a side light, side air, true KO combo option.
Side light. Nice little dash jump, trying to keep that pressure going. Knew Radish wasn't going to fall for a down light there. It's a neutral light. Stingray bringing this one back with his bow play. Side light, side sig. Radish gets disarmed. He's off stage, but he makes it back safely as Stingray went back for a sword.
Neutral air just for a little bit of a juggle. Didn't even send Radish off screen. Look at these players just completely over-spacing one another. I don't know if you wanted to pick that one up or if you thought it was far enough away that he could pick up the orb
the
weapon
down
spawn.
toss. He's trying to open up Stingray. You can see he's doing a lot more weapon tosses. Suddenly the tension between the two of them is building, but he's going for the orb. A little bit more range on it than he'll have with those gauntlets as the side air will KO. Raydish needs to get as much extra credit as he can, and he's going to be sticking with the orb for it.
Stingray did such a tremendous job of evening up that game after what happened in the first stock. No punish. He maybe didn't know. He maybe didn't know exactly how long that neutral signature was going to last, so he could either fall into it or wait too long. That time he's able to punish it. It is with a weapon toss, so he was able to call that one out. It wasn't a huge, major, critical punish changing the tide of the game, but still, you can already see the cogs turning inside of his brain. D-Light side air gets the KO. The lead is so small. It's about 60 damage.
Yeah, you can kind of see like this nervousness coming out from Raydish as he'll kind of retreat to those outside walls, use the N-Sig to buy him some breathing room, and Stingray's starting to call him out. Like you said, going for a safe option with that weapon toss, but you know he's getting that timing down, starting to find more punishes. Raydish does get past, dodges through Stingray, gets the turnaround, doesn't hit the N-Sig, and Stingray with a soft punish from behind.
I swear right before that, we just saw like Stingray be a spear player while he has bow in his hand. We saw the side light wait into the other side light. I feel like he's leaning back on his spear muscle memory. Not that that's a bad thing by any means, but it definitely was like a spear player move while he has a bow in his hand.
Well, fortunately, if it's kind of the same read. Side light, side air, no read necessary for that one. Raydish is up 2-0. The upsets might continue.
Down air sending right over the corner. Down air off the wall. Dude, this is when Radish was like, I am the man. I am in control. And Stingray sat there and said, you're not that guy. You're not that guy, buddy. You're not that guy.
It's like, I'm not going to be in this highlight from you. You just get 3.
There's the sidelight sider to finish things up. Radish in such a good spot here. Look at the damage numbers, though. They're pretty even between these two, even the damage per engagement.
Yeah, the light attack count actually favoring Stingray there, 98 to the 86 of Raydish, and a little bit more accuracy on his signatures, but just wasn't able to get those KOs. I'm thinking about that time where Raydish is getting juggled, right? We saw the nairs, we saw the recoveries coming out from Stingray's bow, but they just were not KOing. You can see how high those red stocks went.
Dang, look at that second stock from Stingray. That lasted probably about half of the game, maybe even as much as 60% of last game.
It lasted longer than his first and third combined from the looks of it, but he's hoping that this time he will outlast Raydish as he makes the swap to the Zol. Just wants to go power for power, 2 powerhouse legends.
He wants to look back in history, back to the Omen Oasis Championship, where he beat Raydish 3-1. Even though he ended up not outplacing Raydish in the long run, Stingray came in 7th, Raydish coming in 4th, but he's hoping for that one moment of that one day with the Zol pick to lead to the same result today.
Well, so far it's looking good. The neutral light will connect, will disarm. Raydish avoids the weapon toss. He'll survive. It's around it. Stingray Might be looking for a downlight for the Nair KO confirm. Uh-oh, that was a burn dodge. Raydish doesn't get more.
The down air, he happened to go for the read the opposite direction of where Stingray was, and Stingray ultimately gets the first stock. His axe put out a ton of damage very quickly without taking too much. Starting that one off with a D-light, or down air, but it was towards the end of that move, so he wasn't really going for the bounce option. Maybe he didn't think it was going to hit. Didn't want to put himself into too many frames.
Side light, side air, on side air, on side air. Raydish gets some good damage, goes for the ground pound. Little bit risky there, but he'll survive. No KOs just yet. Side sig, first one thrown out, first one to KO.
Yeah, we really haven't seen that. We've seen several neutral signatures, but aside from that, neutral sig on Gauntlet, neutral signature on the orb as well. Okay, all right. Okay. Gonna put out 50 damage just like that real quick. Gonna all of a sudden bring himself back into this one.
And then suddenly becomes a grounded End-Light warrior, hits 3 End-Lights onto Stingray. He's built up a lead over Stingray despite that early start from Stingray's axe.
Now, I'm really curious what matchup experience Radish has against Cannon. Since the time when we've really known Radish, Cannon, the back side of that, essentially right above Stingray's Zul, found the connection on that. But I don't know how much experience he has playing against Cannon, because there aren't too many North American Cannon mains, even when Cannon was out of the meta. It's not like Radish is running into the Ninja 729 on the ranked ladder.
There just aren't that many people playing Cannon, especially not in competitive. The neutral light will KO. Looks like Radish doesn't really care that there's a cannon in Stingray's hands. He's just going to play around it perfectly.
It's working so far. You see him retreating back to that soft platform. The bottom side of it picks up and is going to lead to the KO. We have an even game. Final stock here. Stingray needs a victory to stay alive in this tournament. Otherwise, he gets a bronze medal. Radish needs one victory to move on to go to Grand Finals. We could have a Radish Ayo Blue Grand Finals.
Definitely unexpected coming into today, but definitely a possibility as Raydish is up 2 games. He's up 2 stocks, or well, I guess they're down to final stocks here, but still 1 stock left. This is Stingray's tournament stock, like Sparky was saying, and he's got the axe in hand. It worked well at the start of this.
Raydish is going to be mad careful. He is not going to overextend. He is going to get this hit by hit, one hit after the other. He's not going to put any risky follow-ups out there. He has Stingray in the red. Victory is on the tip of his fingers. He just has to be careful to make sure it doesn't slip.
He's being very smart about it, denying weapons, down light recovery, and Raydish gets another upset. He's going to Grand Finals.
What is going on today?
It's Upset City.
This tournament is so wild. This is like more Winter Championship than Winter Championship. I swear, where are we? Are we in Australia where summer is actually winter?